Chapters 27 started up, and he truly did mean everyone. It was as though all of Wonderland High streamed through the small double doors, gasping at the decor, flocking to the table of foods, and milling around the grand hall. There were homeschooled kids, too. People from Chester and Ace's treehouse village, and Red saw Chester wave to a girl with similarly floppy brown hair and a wide grin who must have been his cousin. As Red looked around the room, her heart beat faster. There was so much color. One kid wore a silky yellow blouse. Another girl stuck her hands in her black and white striped pants. A boy Red had seen at unparties before, who usually wore a gray top hat, now donned one covered in glitter. It was Bramble Bay, but amplified. The same kind of handmade jewelry swung from ear loops and wrists. Those who only owned gray, Red could tell, had gone into the forest for wreaths of ivy and little boutonnieres of bluebells. And in the biggest surprise of all, Red saw Tweet and Dora walk through the door too, looking very nervous with little hand-braided friendship bracelets on their wrists. Red beamed at them, and they gave her stiff nods. "We should say something. Get things started," Ace murmured to Red. She nodded, then ascended the stage and stood next to Katie, who lowered the music. "People of Wonderland!" Red cried. The noise of the crowd fell, and most turned to look her way. She hadn't planned any sort of speech, but she let the words come out however they wanted. "What was the first thing we learned?" Red watched them glance at each other. "We learned how to obey. It's what we've been taught from birth. In our homes, in our classes, in our careers. We've been taught not to question authority. We're seen and not heard. And you know what?" She was breathing hard. "We've been pretty darn perfect. Not a peep of resistance. Not a toe out of line. I've seen your restraint. I've seen what you've wanted to break away. Well, guess what?" Red nodded at Chester. He dimmed the grand hall lights to a low glow. At the same time, Ace activated all the flashlights. The dark expanse of the hall lit up with green and blue beams of light, and the makeshift disco ball threw a spray of glittering dots over the room. The plants and colors in the dappled light made it look like they were all deep in the wild waters of the sea. The hushed crowd gasped and murmured, gazing upward, "Tonight is the night you do it! Tonight we get what we deserve!" Red threw her fists in the air just as Katie cranked the volume of the music, filling the hall with a thundering beat.